Hello, people. I'm making this video to address some of the goings-on that I've been engaged in since weighing in on the Steve McRae rape apologetic argument. To give a little history, since people are asking me to do this at the beginnings of my videos, sometimes I don't. Back in early July, Steve McRae hosted a rapist on his channel, the Steve McRae YouTube channel. Steve McRae is the owner of the name The Great Debate Community. I think he's trademarked it, yes? So he's some kind of person who hosts other people talking about interesting subjects on his channel. And in early July, he hosted a guy who runs a channel in the police auditing community. If you want to look up what they are, please go do that. The guest name is Earl David Warden, and that is not a secret, so I'm not doxing him or anything. At the beginning of the stream, Steve let everybody know that no drama would be allowed in his live chat. We would be sticking, strictly to the topic of police auditing. And yet, I noticed as I was watching the live chat after the show had been uploaded into video format, that was the next day. Yeah, so I wasn't watching it live. I was watching it the next day. I noticed in the live chat that there was a lot of moderation of comments. These people were deemed to be a troll army that followed Earl around and harassed him. These people were deemed to be into drama, and their comments were removed. Quite a lot of them were removed. In addition, when I tried to leave a comment about the information that I had found on this guy by doing a simple search, my comments are not viewable to anyone but me. So there's a heavy moderation of this particular guest who is a convicted rapist on Steve's channel. Okay, so when Fiona Robertson made a video, this would be Dr. Fiona Robertson from the Great Debate Community, not trademarked. She made a video addressing what happened, providing the evidence on Steve's guest, explaining what his record is, showing the evidence of the documentation of it, demonstrating that during the course of the stream, Steve had started to engage in rape apologetics for him. And next time somebody asks you to trust that they have special knowledge on someone, don't believe atheist thought leaders when they tell you they have special knowledge on them. Because if it's Steve McRae, you cannot trust that. That cannot be trusted at all. He demonstrated that quite clearly. In addition, he's continued to, instead of admit that what he did was trip into a rape apologetic position, he has doubled down on this. And I made a video about that as well. I'll link it in the description. It's super serious because I've noticed that Steve has become super serious in his proselytizing and calling Catholics rape apologists, morally reprehensible people for even being in the Catholic Church, for even being associated with the Catholic Church because of their pedophile priests. And he runs around proselytizing like an atheist preacher about this shit, right? That is why the tone of my video is serious, because they're trying to convince you that Fiona's video is incorrect when it's not. So I'm boiling this all down for them to its basic elements. And I'll link my video in the description. RedsRhetoric, aka Redline, who does videos about rockets and flat earth debunking here, and has quite a following and quite an entertaining show when he sticks to rockets and flat earth debunking, decided to wade in to defend his friend Steve. So he and, I guess, Cessoviqq had made this video, which was basically a hit piece on Fiona Robertson and a con job on the audience. So let me play this. This is after they made their video. They had a little after party wherein Steve, Cessoviqq, and RedsRhetoric were all in there self-congratulating about what a great video it was and how stupid Fiona is, blah, 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 blah. And I just wanted to play you, and this is after they, a few of them decided to like sort of gang up on me on Twitter for calling RedsRhetoric out. These are all the same people. They are given moderator privileges in a lot of atheist streams here too. They're taking quite seriously these little harassing monkeys. So here's the clip I want to share and address. This is Cessoviqq.
Someone from this group decides to make a video that is some kind of hit piece.
Says at RedsRhetoric, Steve is a rape apologist as much as I am a woman. I'm not. Thank you.
Side note, the other thing with addressing videos like this once in a while, when it becomes appropriate to address things like this, is because this kind of stuff creates an insulation. This kind of stuff creates essentially a barrier around whoever these people are going after in a couple of ways. One is that, yeah, this accusation was egregious. On the other hand, and the next time someone from this group decides to make a video that is some kind of hit piece, maybe they'll do a better job. However, like, this is really badly done, but however, if they do a better job, there's already people who are in the know. They can now be like, oh, well, this person put out another video saying that Steve is now such and such, and you know what, it might actually be compelling, except I watched the last video about this and it was complete trash.
Now I'm wondering at this point if Cessoviqq has graduated from the Crash Override course on anti-bullying. The bullies who pretend they're anti-bullying, yes? I don't know who you think you're kidding, Cessoviqq. And no, I don't agree with you, but I appreciate you revealing your plans to be sure to make sure no one criticizes Steve McRae, yeah? Not without you having something to say about it. After we deconstruct your video, or Red's video, or maybe it was a collaboration, I don't know, we're going to be left with a question. We're going to be left with one of those questions Reds likes to employ so often. And the question goes like this. So, who can you trust? The three people who make factual errors, use so many straw men in one video that the audience becomes accustomed to straw men and thinks that straw man arguments are rational arguments. The people who change the definition of rape apologist to suit their needs, throw in no true Scotsman arguments, and at the end of their defense of Steve McRae, we can take their own modified definitions of rape apologist. And as Nestlig 20 points out, at some point it will literally describe Steve.
Oh, let's go ahead and read this one, because apparently I got accused of dishonesty. Another form of rape apologetics involves asserting that a rape conviction was made under false pretenses. This is an attempt to illegitimize the judicial system, the actual events, and the victim of the rape in order to elicit sympathy for the convicted felon. Another form of rape apologetics involves claiming intercourse between an adult and a minor is not rape if their ages are within a few years of each other, a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old, for example. This type of rape apologetics is used to appeal to Romeo and Juliet laws to assert that a statutory rape is not actually rape and elicit sympathy for the convicted felon. These forms of rape apologetics are not good for your narrative, though. Best not to mention them to the audience.
I don't know what the hell that has to do with anything.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything either.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know what that has to do with anything either. Maybe that's the reason
that's
why.
Completely irrelevant to anything.
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
By the way, I never mentioned anything in regards to the victim here per se. I never said that, oh, she wanted it. I never said, oh, she, look at the way she was dressed. To me, I believe it was consensual, but that's my opinion, right? I'm allowed to have that opinion. That doesn't make me a rape apologist. But what's the difference between this and people that are convicted for murder? Like, people have fought to try to get convictions overturned. They were like, people that were convicted of murder that didn't actually commit the murder. And yet, is that murder apologist? Is that if somebody believes somebody? That doesn't make somebody an apologist. I happen to believe this guy. I've talked to his best friend. He believes him wholeheartedly. His fans believe him, and he has a huge dedicated fan base. If I'm wrong on that, okay, then I just made a judgment and an error in judgment, and I'll say, okay, I fucked up. Big deal.
What the fuck?
I'm not a perfect person, but I at least will give him the benefit of the doubt and believe him, because I think that he's an honorable guy.
Wait a minute, guys. I'm gonna have to call him out on his bullshit again. I'm sorry. We might have to do this a few times. You gave a limited definition of rape apologetics. Smells like narrative to me. You apparently missed the first sentence of the definition, so let me go ahead and read that for you. A rape apologist is a person who defends acts of rape. That definition is all-encompassing. That includes excuses as well.
Yeah.
That excuses for why this isn't really rape falls underneath that definition.
To me, I believe it was consensual. I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
A rape apologist is a person who defends acts of rape. Excuses for why this isn't really rape falls underneath that definition.
I believe it was consensual. I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
You done goofed.
I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
Yes. So here's the thing. Let's say Steve McRae is completely wrong on that, inquiring minds. Does that make him gullible, or does that make him a rape apologist? I'm gonna vote gullible.
Gullible's a little harsh, but okay.
Steve is potentially wrong because
Yeah.
saying that he believes it was consensual is not defending a rape, because
Right.
in that case, from his point of view, a rape did not happen. He's not saying a rape didn't happen to a rape that did happen. He's saying that he believes that it was consensual based on outside information.
I am going to link Nestlig20's video in my video description. Once you get to the end of Nestlig's deconstruction of their video, you can see that Nestlig has literally been able to shred it once you remove all of the straw men, logical fallacies, factual errors, and other flaws. Yeah. And Fiona's video is still standing. I hope I don't have to explain this again to anyone who's paying attention or still objecting to us asserting, I guess, that Steve McRae is engaged in rape apologetics, because he still is. Yeah. He's tripped into it like a fool and is still holding strong.
I think what needs to happen now, you tell me, is that Fiona needs to do one of two things. Either make an apology to myself, Cheshire, and Steve McRae, or just simply take down the video altogether and just pretend it never happened. I can make sure that my video gets taken down in the same aspect. It never happened. It was never a thing. Fuck everyone else. This is just between myself and Fiona on this deal. She takes down her video. I take down mine. Everyone's a happy camper. If the apologies is not going to be given by Fiona, do you think that that is at least a healthy compromise?
I don't know. I don't want to speak to Fiona.
No, I'm not asking Fiona. I'm asking you. Do you personally think that that is a healthy compromise?
Again, if you ask me what I would do, I would retitle the video and maybe make it something that isn't so inflammatory, but hey, that's my personal opinion of what I would do.
Okay. So taking down the video is not a healthy compromise in your opinion?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Fiona, because again, I don't want to speak.
I'm not asking for Fiona's opinion. I'm asking yours.
Well, personally, she wants to keep it up. That's to her. Would I take it down? Yeah, I would personally take it down, but that's because I'm me.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm going to ask you a question. Would you at least talk to Exile, because she's a friend of mine as well?
No, I refuse.
Can I get over?
Maybe they'll do a better job.
Keep walking by myself. Who be the man with the plan? By myself. Who be the brother sitting there? By myself.
Egregious.
By myself.
Egregious. There's already people who are in the know.
Can I get over?
No, I refuse.
By myself. Keep walking
Would you at least talk to Exile?
by myself.
No, I refuse.
And be provocative, kid.
Fiona needs to do one of two things. Either make an apology to myself, Cheshire, and Steve McRae,
By myself. Who be the kid on the mix?
Egregious.
By myself. Who be the brother sitting there? By myself. Keep walking. By myself.
Would you at least talk to Exile?
Who be the brother sitting there? By
Egregious.
myself. Can I get over? Take a look.